All right, welcome back to Velshi and Rhule. Tax day less than a week away. This year's a bit different than last because tax refunds are way down. Lately, in fact, according to NerdWallet,
refunds. Just say that. I want you to say that slowly.
Refunds are down.
Refunds.
Yes.
The money that you get back from the tax man.
Which in theory you overpaid. NerdWallet, which is a personal finance company, says some 8 million Americans who received tax refunds last year actually owe the government money this year.
And one big reason for this, a lack of communication. NBC's technology correspondent, our dear friend Jake Ward, has more on how millions of Americans are now feeling the effect of this.
Karen Speziale says she's always been that member of her family, the one who gets her taxes done early. This year, she was expecting a refund similar to the one she got last year, about $4,000. But she was in for a surprise.
My refund was about half of what it normally is. It used to be like $4,000, and then I got $2,000 this year.
Speziale says she tweeted about her frustration when she realized the refund she had counted on had been eaten up by a change in withholdings that resulted in small increases to her paychecks dispersed over the course of a year.
I got less money because I was getting more back in my paycheck. But that is not a tax break, in my opinion, because all you did was shift the money from getting your return to getting it in your paycheck.
The Florida woman says she was counting on a sizable refund this year because of medical bills related to her failing kidney.
I'm dialysis, I'm waiting for a transplant, and I actually still work full time, but I was planning on paying off some bills.
Speziale, a single grandmother, says she voted for President Trump, but thinks he misled a lot of Americans when he kept talking about tax cuts.
We passed massive tax cuts, the biggest in the history of our country.
I want to believe that he didn't know that was going to happen to people, that he was hurting the middle class.
Treasury Department officials acknowledge the communication on the part of the administration could have been clearer, spelling out how taxpayers could adjust their withholdings if they wish to receive sizable refunds.
The bottom line for most taxpayers is that refund. You already have it spent. A lot of people already have a vacation planned, or they have a utilities bill, and they plan to pay those down with their tax refund. And so when those refunds come in much smaller than expected, that's a really disappointing moment.
Here's some advice for taxpayers who find themselves in Speziale's position and want to get bigger refund checks next year. Work with employers to adjust your withholding.
Taxpayers are unhappy with the amount of refund that they got this year. They should change their withholding certificate with their employer as soon as possible.
Speziale says she's still a Trump fan, but doesn't believe he has a grasp on the squeeze that the middle class is feeling.
I believe that he isn't showing his income tax returns because he didn't pay anything, and we are paying in money, and he's paying nothing when he's making billions or whatever he's at. So maybe he just doesn't understand.
With her refund down by $2,000, Speziale says some of the bills she'd hoped to pay will have to wait.
I'm going to have to budget really well.
Jake Ward joins us now. Jake, let's talk about the communication issue you mentioned. The Treasury Department and tax experts are all saying that the government should have done a better job at explaining to folks what the tax cuts meant and how they would work. So if you were going to get the equivalent of the $2,000 that she got in her paychecks, somebody needed to tell you, you're not also getting this and your refund. And I think it's clear that a lot of people wouldn't know that. We're both finance people. Right. We wouldn't actually know how that translates into our refund.
No, that's exactly right, Ali. It's just a super complicated thing for your average person. I think most people just have no idea that this is how it works. And it turns out a lot of Americans really rely on that refund as a sort of, automatic savings plan for a certain point of the year. That's what Ms. Speziale was doing. It's what a lot of people tend to do. And so certainly a big disappointment, I think, for a lot of people, even though the policy did what it was supposed to do. It did cut people's taxes.
All right. I appreciate that you're in our wheelhouse and you're talking taxes, but I think we got to talk about this black hole.
Oh, good. Can we do that?
Yes.
Let's just tell our viewers about this if anybody hasn't
That's
seen
how
it.
Ali normally refers to his hour between 1 and 2 daily.
For the first time, that's funny. For the first time ever, scientists have taken a picture of a black hole. This is the image. Right. It's taken by the Event Horizon Telescope, which shows what's called
55 million light years from here.
And it's actually described as a supermassive black hole at the center of the Messier galaxy.
Here's why this is so incredibly cool, is that Einstein, whose whole theory of relativity only made sense if there in fact existed black holes, was scared of the idea and basically was sort of loath to accept it. He basically said, it freaks me out so much I don't even want to imagine that it exists. And now here we are today taking a picture of it from 55 million light years away. I mean, we are looking into the eye of the universe. That thing you're looking at is ejecting matter 5,000 light years into space. It's shooting energy out of it. I mean, it's an unimaginable, it's literally looking at the end of time, right? A one-way portal to nothing. And so I just think it's a very cool thing. It also, nothing puts you in your place like thinking about taxes on the day that you're looking into the eye of the universe.
Look at you, Stephanie.
Tax policy and the black hole. Unimaginable mysteries.
Jake.
Speaking of inescapable vortexes.
Right,
Speaking of an inescapable vortex.
Good to see you, friend. Thank you, as always, Jake Ward. And there's a third installment of the work that Jake's doing on taxes that's worth watching because a lot of people are confused about it this year.
Talk about Jacob's range.
He's got a lot of range.
He does.
In the same segment, we did tax filings and black holes.
We did. All right, thank you.